This is the four-man rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the four-man rush. I'm your host, Timmy V.O., here with Will, Jadarius, Kevin, and Larry. And we're going to talk about some various topics in relation to the Carolina Panthers at this point. Not a lot going on, but there are some things going on, and we're going to tell you in detail about certain things, certain aspects, and maybe things you haven't thought about before in relation to that. So we're glad you're here with us live. Got several people on the Facebook and Twitter here with us, and we're conversating about things, shits and giggles, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys for dropping by. Before we get started, shout out to Manscaped. You're looking on the flag, man. It looks nice in the four-man rush studio, man. I'm digging it. If you guys haven't tried the four-man rush. If you haven't tried Manscaped, I highly suggest you do, especially when it comes to male grooming. And they have a crop cleanser, they have a foot duster, some foot hygiene for you, cologne, a really nice razor for your face. Trimmer. They have a brand new trimmer, a 4.0. They upgraded that bad boy. It's off the chain. Y'all need to try that out. They have underwear. They have a whole bunch of stuff. So shout out to Manscaped. And in case you guys didn't know, right, we have a code that you can use to get free shipping and 20% off your total your total purchase. So I'll type it in the chat for you guys. It's 4MR Scaped 20. There's 4MR Scape 20. You type that in when you guys check out, and on behalf of the four-man rush, Manscaped will ship that to you for free and 20% off. So that's 4MR Scaped. I'm typing as I talk. 20. Bam. Use that. Save some money. All right. Anyway, so we're going to talk about. Bring up this list right here. I know we're going to talk about Christensen. We're going to talk about him. Right tackle, left tackle, A tackle. We don't know. We'll see what's up with that. So we'll talk about the players and getting vaccinated. I know there's a lot of I don't need to tell you my business kind of thing going on with that. We'll touch on that a little bit. If you guys have been under a rock over the past week, Clinton Dix has been invited to come and try out, and Yeldon getting his opportunity. And we're gonna talk about our only offensive lineman that I like right now, Taylor Moton, and his extension. Just saying. No knock on you on Paradis, but Moton's been a little bit more consistent. I'm just saying. So those are the topics. Glad you guys dropped by, and hold on to your hats, folks. The four-man rush is on the scene. Will, we'll start with you, man. And we'll hop over to Larry, then we'll hop over to Jadarius, and Kevin is going back clean up, man. Slugger. Gia. And shout out to shout out to Kevin's daughter on here, Jelani, joining us today. Thanks for coming out. So, Will, Brady Christensen, man. Why did we draft this guy?
I think what we finding out this week is what we all expected from the beginning. I don't think Matt Rule drafted him with the intent of being the answer at left tackle or the long-term answer at left tackle. It appears he just likes his position versatility. He wants to try him out at different spots. And after minicamp, it seems like they said he's comfortable. In his words, I'll quote so I'm not keep it accurate, but in his words, he wants to try him out on the right side. So he's taking reps at both right guard and right tackle. So it looks like that's where he's going to be slotted in the left tackle position. It's probably going to come down to Cam Irving and Trent Scott. And, of course, Greg Little, who I don't think probably not going to make the team. As far as Christensen, though, it's not a surprise to me. I think that's kind of what I expected when I watched his tape in college. I know we got some inside info from Matt Rule on Panthers Confidential. They had him graded as a second-round guard and a third-round tackle. So when they drafted him, they probably had guard in mind as what the best position that he can play. At left tackle, I know that's what he played in college, so a lot of fans got their hopes up that this would be the position that he'd settle at. He'd fill that hole we have at left tackle and have had for years, and we wouldn't have to address it going forward. I never saw that as the case, though. I think once we got out of that first round, when Darisaw left, the left tackle quality kind of went downhill from there. Had some guys, Jackson Carman or Tevin Jenkins might have been a possibility there, but I think Carman's actually getting moved inside as well. So I just think with Brady Christensen, you just got to set your expectations with how he's going to progress. Through his first couple of years, he's not going to be an immediate starter answer. You're not going to probably be the player you want him to be right away. But you have to like his athletic profile and potential there. So how well can the coaching staff do with all of the tools that he does have? Now I don't want to get the misconception that I don't like Brady Christensen, the player. I think for a third round pick, it was excellent value. I just think the issue was more about if you really wanted a guard or a right tackle. We had a lot of those options available a little bit higher. You could probably get a plug and play starter to help this struggling offensive line right away. But I think at this stage, he's a Panther now. We got to do what we got to do. It's just about doing what's best for Brady Christensen and putting him in the best position to succeed. And if that ends up being at guard, then so be it. Having a mainstay at right or left guard isn't a bad thing.
Good point. Good point. We're definitely going to have some depth, that's for sure. How it's going to play out, I don't know. Larry.
I think Brady Christensen was a panic pick. You take a guy in the third round, even if you don't plan on playing him at left tackle, you still should have a plan for him. I didn't see anything about his tape that made me believe that he's so versatile he can play all five positions on the offensive line. So I'm going to try him everywhere. He didn't give me that. I just think that they drafted a guy. They don't really know what to do with him, so they're just hoping that through his development, he'll be able to find a home somewhere on this offensive line. I don't see it happening. I don't see them moving Deontay Brown all over the place. I don't see them moving David Moore all over the place. I think he's just like a wild card pick. Possibly you thought he was going to be able to play left tackle. It's looking like he's not going to be able to do that. So you're going to try him in other places. So my temperament stays the same. I wasn't excited about the pick. He was not on my board. This is going to be one of those type of picks where he's just going to have to show me. But right now, I'm putting him in that same room with Greg Little. And that's just how I feel.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Jarius, what you think, man?
I got to agree with Smooth, bro. It was a panic pick. You could see us moving down, trying to get value because we have a lot of day two guys on our board. I don't see it on film, bro. And that worries me. Like, I know people will be like, well, it's college and pros, two different things. Look, bro, if you can't read and write at a certain level, it's not gonna work anywhere else. So I don't see it. I don't like the pick. I don't even think, even if they thought he was a high value guard, there were two guards that went after him that I think are better: Ben Cleveland and Wyatt Davis. Even in camp, in the 4-man rush, we all thought Wyatt Davis was one of the best guards in the class, if not the best. So I don't see where they're going with this. I think they're trying to save face, honestly. From the trade backs, you missed out on 7 or 8 tackles, O-line, guard prospects with those trade backs, and now they're trying to say he's gonna be a day two value type guard. It's cap. He's not a tackle. That's cap too. I think I can see maybe right tackle as like a swing tackle one day down the road. I'm not seeing left tackle. I don't think he's a starter right now. Straight up.
Man. But you hear that, fans? We're not too high on this kid. I'll just hold my remarks for later. Kevin.
man, I just think that this pick was just. I'm gonna call it was a wasted fucking pick, man. The moment that everybody was tooting around the PFF stats, oh, only one sack and three quarterback pressures all year. I said, I bet. Started watching them. I stopped after 5 games. Now, from my 4 eyes that I got, I counted 3 sacks and about 10 quarterback pressures just in the first 5 games that they played. Now, that's not me being an asshole trying to be, because I don't like the pick, trying to look. It's, you, it's a sack, it's a hit, and it's a hurry. Those are the quarterback pressures. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I kept seeing. And surprisingly enough, it wasn't really nobody of a dominating nature that he was going up against either. You know, it's like I say, I just think that Matt Rule and his staff, Fitter, they're just in love with RAS scores, the athletic scores. I really believe. I feel like this was the RAS draft. I just think that we sacrificed a lot of quality for quantity. Oh, we got 11 draft picks. You know, give me $6 over 20 dimes any day. That's me. Um, but with this particular pick, I mean, when I look at the positives about him, I think his get off on the line is excellent. Let me just take my personal feelings out of it and just be honest. His get off on the line is excellent. When the ball is height, he is coming. He is out the blocks. Um, so I can see why that guard aspect is being thrown out there. But when I think of guard, because I played guard and look at position, you got to be physical, you got to be nasty. And then I was just looking at PFF, saying he was one of the best. He was like the fourth best run blocker in the country. So I go back to them 5 games I'm watching. I'm not seeing it. So we'll just leave it at there as far as the whole PFF and their evaluation things, because I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing that knock down, that push off the line. I'm just not seeing it. But overall, as far as like you say, he's on the team, so he's gonna be on the team for at least the next 4 years. Well, hopefully, because Greg Little got a 4-year contract, but he might be gone. But anyway, um, but overall, I just think it was just a wasted pick. Um, I can see why people say panic. I can see why Will can say is where he got him is at value. But when you look at what took place after we drafted Terrence Moss, I'm just gonna throw out some names here that that could have been still out there. Okay, we talking about a center, post Paradis. Well, Josh Myers from Ohio State, probably the best center in the draft. Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma. Um, that was left available. And we go with Brady Christensen. Then when you go to that third round before we got him, I'm still looking at linemen. Um, they talking about a tackle, Jalen Mayfield. He went to the Falcons. The right tackle out of Michigan. I mean, so it's just all that trading back that Scott Fitter did. And I still would like to love to know who were the people that were pissed off in the Panthers war room. If I ever get that inside information, best believe I'm dropping it. As far as who were not liking all this trading back and what we were leaving out there. So when we start seeing the Pro Bowls and All Pros in 2 or 3 years from now, and we're seeing like Jackson Carman, Wyatt Davis, you know, Creed Hunt. When we see players that we passed up on, while we're still trying to determine what Brady Christensen going to do, it's just really going to just be a salty day for me. It really is, because this draft was the perfect draft to finally fix our offensive line for the next 5 to 10 years.
Oh yeah, by far.
By far the most talented. I mean, if you want zone guys, it was there. If you want power guys, like whatever scheme you want your offense to be, whatever it was going to be, and I know the Joe Brady scheme is a lot of zone. It was there, but
Mm.
RS scores and happy about trade backs seem to be what our draft was all about. So it is what it is for me.
I don't want the fans to think I hate the guy though. Like it's not that I hate him. I'm
Yeah,
reading some of the comments.
relax.
I'm not mad because we picked the guys that we want. The draft was 2 months ago. I'm over that. I'm
Relax.
just talking about what I look at when I study this guy, when I watch 12 games of him, and then I listen to what the media is saying about how they're using him in camp. It doesn't add up. I don't need professionals to tell me how to watch offensive linemen. I get the pros wrong all the time. You can ask the guys in here. Every time the pros say something, the analysts, if I don't agree, I don't agree, and I stand on my guns. A lot of the times I'm right. I'm just trying to figure out what about this man's game shows you that he can play multiple positions on the offensive line. He rarely felt extremely comfortable at one. That's all I'm saying. So it's not a hate thing. It's nothing like that. I'm just PFF scores are not going to sell me. Analysts saying he's a day one starter is not going to sell me. I go with what my own eyes show me, and I seen him get dominated by a bunch of smaller D1 school players and a couple of D2 school guys. Like I seen that. So on his competition level, he's supposed to pop out on tape. When you watch all five offensive linemen in that conference, you're supposed to stand out. He don't stand
Exactly.
out. He's average, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to disrespect nobody.
yeah.
I believe in the coaching staff. I trust them. I think it was an okay draft. I think last year's draft was pretty solid. We're just talking about Brady Christensen.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice to give him a chance. I'm not cutting his checks. He's gonna get a chance regardless. Why do y'all care what I think? I'm just saying I'm
It's
not sold and I don't have confidence in him. It's that simple.
yeah. I mean, in all honesty, folks. I mean, we're not. You know, just because we don't work for the Panther organization directly doesn't mean that we don't know football. You
I
know,
think the
it's
misconception a lot of people have is because you don't think he's a left tackle that you think it's a bad pick. I think Matt Rule basically said that. That's not us saying that. And Matt Rule, quote, in an interview on the Panthers website says, we like him on the right side. We like him at right guard. We like him at right tackle. So that's not us hating on Brady Christensen or saying he can't do this, this, and that. We're just taking the coach's word on how they're using him in camp. And I think people got to get that mindset and lower their expectations because right now they're all hyped. Oh, we had the greatest draft ever. We drafted 11 all pros. All of our rookies are going to start day one. We're winning the Super
Some
Bowl
of these
this year.
guys is
But
bust. They need
3
to get that
years
through their
from
head. Well,
now,
some
yeah.
of these
They're
guys
not
are
gonna be on the
bust.
team. They're gonna be on
3
the
years
team.
from now, y'all gonna be looking at this draft like, damn, why do we pick him? We're gonna see another Sion Fua, another, you know, um,
Right.
Amini Silatolu. You're gonna see another
Sanchez.
He will. He
Rashawn
said he liked.
Goldstein. You're gonna
He
look
said
back
he
and say,
liked him at right guard and right tackle. He said he liked Teddy Bridgewater too, bro. Like
you just gotta,
Oof. Oof.
just relax. I think it's okay to have reasonable expectations for these guys coming into camp. I think at the end of the day, Brady Christensen's a phenomenal athlete for an offensive lineman. He
Yeah,
tests
he's an
in the
athlete.
95th, 99th percentile in every metric. So we're just
Yep.
going to trust the coaching staff to find a fit for him and hope that athleticism translates to good offensive line play. But, all that said, I think you just have to get out of the mindset that he's the answer at left tackle. We haven't seen it on his college tape. He doesn't have the measurables to play the position. His arm length, I think, is like 5th percentile for offensive tackles, even lower than guys like Joe Thomas and Jordan Gross, who are notoriously known as those guys who kind of go against the odds in terms of having success at the league with short arms. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player in this league. We're going to try him at guard, see what he can do. And hopefully that athleticism translates to being a productive starter. You got to remember, it's a third-round pick, man. How much are we really going to get out of that pick? For a third-round pick, a solid guy that can back up 4 positions is a success. So, I think it is what it is at this point. We just got to see where they find his fit. He's a young player. He's going to keep learning, and we'll see how he ends up.
Mm-hmm.
He better not get beat out by Deontay Brown or David Moore. Simple as that.
And I'm gonna say this, for those that want to know what I based off of, just do us just one favor. Go to YouTube, type in BYU versus UTSA, that's University of Texas San Antonio, and from the very first play, just watch.
Mm-hmm.
That defensive end is only about 6'2". I'm just thinking on top of my head, maybe 260. Whew. He- that's
Panda.
all I'm gonna say. Just watch that one game on YouTube, BYU versus UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, that they played this year, a cupcake game, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
see and you'll see exactly why the things that we said is based from. Do I hate the guy? No, I don't hate him. I just don't like I just don't like who we gave up in order to get him.
I don't
Now,
like
if
the fact
everybody,
that I don't like the
go ahead.
fact that we didn't get a left tackle when we could have got a freaking left tackle. This guy's he could be this, that, and the third. That's fine. That's fine. We need depth at O line. Obviously, we've been getting nicked and banged up all year for years now. But we could have got a left tackle that could have played day
Right.
one possibly. That's
Right.
the problem for me. We passed up on some
Right, Tim. You're absolutely
some
right because
quality shit.
look, Tim, you wanted depth, right? You ended up getting that in the sixth round with Deontay Brown. You got David Moore drafted. He should have been drafted. You found depth in the
Got
draft.
depth. We
Why'd
got
you
it.
get that in the third round? Like I just whatever. And
Yo,
somebody in
Yeah,
the comments asked about Tommy Tremble. They said give him the same smoke.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
want to give Tommy any smoke because he's probably taking reps at left tackle because we don't have an answer. So it is what it is.
but let me
man,
just
I
place
take it
my
one
venom.
step
Let me.
further.
Oh,
We didn't just get depth in the draft. We got depth the first day of free agency when we signed Elfline and Irving.
Right,
That's supposed to
Word,
be the
right.
depth.
yo.
Now where's the starters at?
hey, all I'm gonna say is this: this whole conversation can be blamed on the Detroit Lions. They ruined two people that day. They done ruined Penei Sewell because they trying to make him a fucking right tackle,
Mm.
and they fucked us because when you watch the Panthers Confidential, they was all in on Sewell, and it's like, damn, Lions getting Sewell. Really? They getting them? When I saw that, I was just like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
you done took a franchise, you know, generational left tackle, and you gonna flip them.
Mm.
And now we're having conversations 2 months later about a freaking Christensen, all because of the Detroit Lions. Thank you,
One more thing before we go
Detroit.
on to the next topic. One
Yeah.
more thing before
Go
we go
ahead,
on
yo.
to the next topic. I need fans to say, and this is not a shot at you, my boy Steven. It's not a shot. But don't scream position flexibility to me if you haven't shown me that. If you want to go back 4 years ago when Taylor Moton was coming out of college, you saw reps of him playing right guard and playing right tackle. He did both well. That's position flexibility. Don't tell me somebody that's been playing left tackle, that's the only film that you can find on him, is flexible because your head coach told you he is. Why do you believe in the coaching staff that had one of the worst offensive lines in the league last year? Don't sell me on that. I'm
Mm.
sorry. Don't sell me on flexibility when I haven't seen it. When I see it, he plays well. We can come back to this discussion. But don't
That's a
sell
fair
me on
point.
that right now. Don't let them lie to you. They're not going to lie to me. Don't tell me about some flexibility when we've never seen it. No,
That's a
no, I'm
fair
good.
point. That's a fair point. If you've been playing left tackle all your life and you come to the pros and then you're gonna throw you in the right tackle, right guard, that's gonna go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I think people confuse possession flexibility with just not being good at any position and coaches trying to find a spot for him. I mean, Cam Irving was supposedly a position flexibility guy, but he stunk at all four positions he played. So the coaches are probably just trying to salvage their first round pick by trying to find him a spot on the offensive line. So I think,
Mm.
I mean, to be for position flexibility to have value, you have to be able to step in and play every position you're coming
Boom.
into very well. For example, Jeremy Chin, that's position flexibility. He can play linebacker very well. He can play safety very well. And regardless of where you put him, you're not going to lose quality on the field. So you can leave him on the field at all times. But a guy that can just not be good at any position and you just want a guy, just a body there, that's really not really adding much value or depth to your team.
Mm.
And one last thing I want to get off my chest since we're talking about particular offensive linemen. Fans, stop thinking that you could just take anybody from the left side, throw them on the right side, and get the same results. I tell you this. This is another challenge I got for you. I'm feeling like if you right-handed, I want you take your left hand and write the same sentence you do with your right hand. Vice versa, left hand, right with your right hand. Because Larry, what's the guy Duke Merriweather? I think
Yeah,
that's his name.
Big Duke
Yeah,
Mayweather.
Big Duke. Yeah, he was talking about that. I saw him talking about like he put out a video on Twitter. He was saying that fans got this expectation that you can just flip flop a player. He was just like that's like just trying to all of a sudden write with your opposite hand. All of a sudden, you see the same letter that you do, but it's not going to look the same, and it takes a lot of practice before it even starts looking anywhere remotely close to what your dominant hand is used to doing. So fans got this idea that if you play right tackle, just throw him over to the left. It's not that easy, folks.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's not that easy.
You have to be in tune with your quarterback. You have to take the right steps. It's so much muscle memory in playing tackle position. If you guys listen to Willie Anderson, future Hall of Fame tackle for the Bengals, he talks about how it's dancing and how it's memorization. You got to have the same rhythm over and over again. It's very difficult to make that translate from one side of the offensive line to the other. A lot of guys just don't do it. It's not like baseball where you can switch it. It's rare that you find somebody that can do both. And even when Milton took those snaps at left tackle a couple of years ago, even
Mm-hmm.
though you saw some success, every single one of his steps seemed awkward. If you really studied him, it didn't feel natural to him. That's why they put him back over to the right. It's not an easy transition. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on to the COVID situation. There's several players who are, kind of like, yeah, that's my business. If I get a shot or not, that's really not. So how do you guys feel about that, man? Do you think they should tell us if they got a shot? Should they get a shot? What do you think,
Hey,
Will?
I got a rich friend. Hey Tim, I got a pretty rich friend in the music industry. He said it's a cure for AIDS. It's $85,000. You think you want to know that? It was that just his personal business. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to know if Christian McCaffrey got diabetes and he got to take insulin? Like, at what point do guys get privacy? So when it comes to this COVID thing, you don't know everybody's situation. I'll use myself. I was against taking the shot. But when it came down to my salary and my future career and my job
Hold on,
telling me
hold on.
like either hey,
Camera.
you either do it or you don't. I had to do what I had to do. So like I commend them for taking control of their own lives and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's not none of y'all fucking business.
Mm,
I gotta show up on Sundays and play football. Don't worry about my personal health. Y'all don't care when he's sitting in the locker room in a tub of ice. Y'all don't care when these guys got to take shots. So what you worried about a vaccine for? Just mind your business. That's how I feel about it.
word.
For $85,000, I told y'all Magic Johnson was cured, but anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I mean, you never gonna tell another man, grown man, what to do. I think people stress themselves out all day talking about he shouldn't have said this. Don't dress like that. Take the vaccine. Don't stand for the anthem. Don't kneel for the anthem. Do this. Do that. Why you get so caught up in telling other grown men what to do? Just enjoy the game. At the end of the day, we're football fans. We're not, watching a reality TV show. If you want that,
Mm,
go turn on the Kardashians or something. I think a new season of that is starting up pretty soon. But I think with that said, with the COVID situation, I think the teams that do get vaccinated, they're gonna go into the season with a competitive advantage, no matter how you feel on the topic. They're
yeah,
not
good
gonna
point.
have to quarantine players, to potentially have exposure. Players aren't gonna have to get tested as regularly. So there are some competitive advantages to teams that have more players on their team vaccinated. So I mean that's one way to look at it. But even with that, man, these guys can do what they want with their bodies. We don't, getting into their medical records, their personal business, their relationships, what they do off the field. That's going a little bit too far from my liking. You just gotta keep it football, enjoy the game, and what happens happens. It's just
I
a
feel
game
you.
at the end of the day.
Word.
Keep in mind, you can still catch COVID even if you're vaccinated.
Go ahead, Jadarius.
I generally approach this from the perspective that I've seen fans say you shouldn't ask a player this. I think it's fair game to ask. I don't like. I think I think trying to uh, to tell another grown man um, who may view the world differently than you how to view the world is the epitome of what we're trying to avoid here. As long as I posted this on my Twitter. Look, if a grown man tells you he's going to do his research and make an informed opinion, believe him. Just leave it alone. Hopefully he will. Yeah. That's what we want. We want informed opinions, decisions. We don't want any rat do that. Believe him. No need to speculate. For the fans, like, bro, we can't act like we didn't just watch a whole football season in a bubble. We can't act like the Panthers just didn't lead the league in fewest contaminations last
That's true.
year without a vaccine. That was pre-vaccine.
Yeah. Hey, Kev, go ahead and tell us your thoughts, bro.
I'll just add in, for those who want to know specifically what this new NFL protocol, what it's saying, what it allows. It's pretty much separating the players between vaccinated and unvaccinated players. So, for example, and I'm reading this off the article in Panthers.com. Here it says, and I quote, among the changes, there will be no daily testing for those fully vaccinated, and they're not required to wear masks. They can also eat together in the team cafeteria, gather with other players in and out of the facility. So that's what you get if you're vaccinated. Now, if you're unvaccinated, unvaccinated players are subject to restriction when the team travels, including being required to remain in the team hotel instead of venturing out for meals. They're also prohibited from attending indoor concerts and other events, and are still subject to a mandatory 5-day isolation if they come in close contact with a person who tests positive. So, that's just some of the highlights, or however you want to look at it, of this new, NFL vaccination protocol that just came out. So, like I said, it's player, excuse me, it's players' business. That's how I feel. But clearly, you see what the perks is as they trying to get everybody to take this vaccine, and get situated. But people have a right, what they believe, what they feel. You got a right to control, what go in and out of your body. Me personally, I'm just gonna be sit back and watching 10 years from now. If you was one of the people that took the COVID vaccination back in 2020, 2021, you are entitled to a settlement from the U.S. government because you now have a third testicle growing. It's so I'm just saying, man. Hey, Tuskegee experiment. Excuse me, but hey, I'm just saying. But anyway,
Yeah.
that part, Tim. But anyway, but I mean,
Yeah.
hey, that's why me personally, I renewed my tickets, so I will be going to all the games this year. But I also bought up the Panthers mask. I got like 13 different Carolina Panther masks, so you'll see me with a different mask on at every game I go to this year. So, I'm gonna be in the stands with my mask on, cheering, yelling, and having as much distance as I can as possible.
Dig it, man. JD back on the scene.
Get off that AOL, JD, man. Get off that AOL, bro.
Man, listen, bro. My internet provider has worse coverage than Troy Pride.
Oh,
Straight up.
oh,
Straight
oh,
up. I ain't go cap to you, bro. I
oh.
ain't go cap.
But
You
you better
probably the
never
reason
sit.
why he injured. Tell the truth. What you did to Troy Pride,
You
man.
better never see that
I
man on the
ain't did
streets.
nothing, man. I ain't did
You
nothing.
you better
Don't
never see
spoke
that man
bad
on
on
the
that man.
streets.
Look, I just told the truth.
Don't run from him. He'll catch you. Hey, just my 2 cents. I can care less. You know, one of the reasons the statistic that you just mentioned, JD, about the Panthers having the lowest contamination, um, you know, popping up throughout the NFL. I mean, these if these guys want to play, they're going to do what they need to do to get on the field, right? So I mean, if they get a shot, they get a shot. They don't, they don't. You know, quite frankly, if my livelihood was on the line and I'm making millions of dollars, you goddamn right I'm taking a shot. I'm just saying because ain't nothing gonna keep me from getting on that field. But you know, whether or not I tell my business, who cares? 2 tears in the bucket. Fuck it. So
This
anyway,
is just a yawn topic because I think this is just supposed to be common sense. Like, I don't tell nobody my business. Why you worried about these players for? It's a yawn topic for me because none of you are gonna come up to me in my life and ask me if I got vaccinated or not. It's just not going to happen. And none of you are going to catch an attitude if I tell you I don't feel like telling you because you know what happens after that. So like, why are we talking about this?
and
I'm just saying, and it's crazy. I know why we're talking about it. It's all over Twitter, but I'm just saying, it's a non topic for me. I'm sorry.
yeah. So next topic, we got Clinton Dix and Yeldon trying out for the squad. Is it too late for him? Are they too old for this shit? Poor
Haha's
guy.
in this. Haha, based on what I heard from what was the defensive back that used to play for the Bucks?
Barber?
Nah, he played for the Bucks, Patriots, Broncos.
Talib,
Talib.
Oh,
Talib.
Yeah,
yeah,
he told
Talib.
me, and this is from a guy that played a similar position, just a corner. Your prime years in the NFL are usually from that, like when you feel like you got grown man strength, when
Mm-hmm.
you're at your peak, it's from that age of 25 to 29.
Mm-hmm.
Haha's like 28. So I don't even consider him washed. I think he's in the prime of his career. We just have to do more research on what happened, why he got cut. I think he just got beat out for a job. So this is probably more of a mental thing. He's got to get his competitive edge back and show
Mm-hmm.
that he belongs in this league. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
athleticism, technically he's never been hurt. He's played every single game of his career. Should be in his prime. This is a very intriguing camp tryout, in my opinion.
Be a great pickup. Go ahead, Will.
It's definitely worth a shot. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler. He's been elite at every level he's been at. Played with Nick Saban. I think he won a national championship there. Was a first round draft pick. I mean, he was in NFL's top 100 players. I think 2 years in a row. So I'm surprised that he had to miss the entire season. Now last year was kind of a weird off season if you were cut during training camp and the just the restrictions to being able to take physicals and travel and all those things. You just had a significant disadvantage in trying to land on a roster. So I think a lot of teams were just more inclined to go with what they had in their roster already, as opposed to signing these free agents that got cut at the end of camp. But I mean, at age 28, I mean, I refuse to believe he's not in his athletic prime. I'm not aware of any significant injury history. I'm not aware of any problems in the locker room. He seems like a well-liked guy throughout the league. So it's definitely worth a shot. From what I know about him, he's primarily a free safety. When Green Bay got Adrian Amos, they moved Clinton Dix to strong safety. That's not really his strength playing in the box like that. He's not a banger.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a rangy free safety. He's a ball hawk. He makes a lot of plays on the ball, forced fumbles, gets PBUs, gets interceptions. And I think it's a skill set we could really use in our secondary. When you look at our safety depth right now, you got Justin Burris, who's more of a nickel guy, nickel cover guy. Not really a rangy free safety type. You got Sam Franklin, who's got similar to a Jeremy Chin skill set. You got Miles Hartsfield, who ironically has more of a Justin Burris skill set, playing in the nickel and covering. And you got Kenny Robinson, who I think still waiting for his shot. He was kind of slow developing last year. He finally got on the roster towards mid to late season. I think he got cut in camp and then put on the practice squad. And then later in the year, when we got down in the injuries, he finally got his opportunity and got some special teams reps. So we'll see how he comes along as well. But I think Clinton Dix would be a good addition to the safety room because, I mean, he adds veteran leadership. If you think about it, it's the safety room right now is Justin Burris and 4 second-year players. There's not a lot of NFL experience and actual game reps in that room right now. And just his skill set being that rangy free safety, I think that's another skill set that we could use in the secondary. So just letting him in camp, let him compete, and let's see what he's got. Hopefully he leaves Charlotte with a contract by the end of the week.
I also think it's fair to be mentioned. I wasn't aware, but I heard someone say that he was on paternity leave last year. So maybe that's the reason why nobody picked him up. But I didn't know they had that. But yeah, he was on leave. I guess he just had a baby.
Shit.
That makes sense too, because you don't want to travel a lot with the risking COVID, with the pregnant wife and kids. So that makes a lot of sense as well. Why he just maybe just sat out the season instead of trying to get on another roster.
True. Jadarius, what's your piece, man?
I like how I think he's a free safety, true and true. He offers a little bit of versatility, but that's not in the box. Is not necessarily where you want him, and nickel is not necessarily where you want him either. He's definitely a free safety, and I think from what I've seen about his release, he was on a 1-year deal, so it's not like the Cowboys lost a lot of capital by releasing him, and he was beat out by a player on a rookie contract, I'm pretty sure. So you save money either way, especially in a year where nobody knows about the salary cap, where people are going to be, where the number is going to be for the teams. I think it might have been a penny pinching type cut. And with COVID and everything, teams were really hesitant of bringing in new guys. So even if the maternity leave explanation isn't true, it was just tough for guys that were released and undrafted rookies, vets alike, because now you have to get re-cleared. You have to go through physicals and all that good stuff and contact tracing and all that social distancing. It wasn't really feasible. And teams just really rolled with who was in the camp already. So I think HaHa as a steady hand to the secondary group, especially with 3 young safeties we're looking at here. If you're looking at Sam Franklin, you're looking at Kenny Robinson, you're looking at even Miles Hartsfield, even though he's more of a nickel. That will help those 3 guys tremendously. Just to have a guy who has done it at a high level, makes plays routinely, and somebody that has been trusted on teams he's been on before to come through and make big plays. So I don't think it does anything but help the defense.
Word. And Kevin Avery.
Well, call me petty,
Uh-oh.
but TJ, T.Y. Yeldon can't play on this team for me. You want to know why? Take y'all back down memory lane. 2015 season, week 1 at Jacksonville. This was the running back that Luke Kuechly tackled to get his first concussion. If y'all remember.
Shit.
Yeah. So this guy is the beginning of why Luke Kuechly is no longer here. So me personally, I don't want nothing to do with you. I know it's a part of the game. That's why I said excuse me for being petty.
Yeah.
I had to put up with Tahir Whitehead and Shaq Thompson because of you. So Yeldon, nah, you can't get no love from me. We took a Luke Kuechly. We had to watch a Luke Kuechly in his prime retire because of your ass. So nah, you can't come on my squad, bro. Nah. Imagine Luke Kuechly playing behind a Derek Brown. Man, I only wants to. Man, let me hush. I don't want to get in my feelings. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, man. But I just had to give my petty reason for it, man. He the guy that gave Luke Kuechly that concussion that caused him to miss some games, and that gave AJ Klein a little bit of life. That ended up getting him, a couple of jobs. I think he was with New Orleans. Now he with Buffalo. So, Yeldon can get the hell on. That's how I can feel. That's just me. But far as Clinton, but said it backwards. Clinton Dix. Um, I'm intrigued. Y'all know, I'm looking for, I want to see the one of the young guys step up. But when I think about it, you are right. We don't have a lot of, veteran presence, particularly in the safety room. And even though we're real high on Jeremy Chin, he definitely got to make some big strides in his ability to cover. Because let's not forget, for all the accolades and all the heap and praise, Jeremy Chin did give up 6 touchdowns in coverage last year. So we're gonna call a spade a spade. Let's just put it all out there. So we're definitely need to improve anybody that can add coverage on the back end. And while y'all were talking, I just went and did some background checks. Um, you know, Injuries. He has not missed a game to any injuries. He's pretty much played. Clinton did. So I'm looking at it right now. When he's with he didn't start his first 6 games in 2014, but from there all the way to 2018, he started and played every single game for Green Bay, and then he went to Washington, then went to Chicago, and he got cut by Dallas before the season started. So that's the situation with that. But even when he got a full year in Chicago in 2019, he still was 16 out of 16. I typed in his injury history and came back with nothing. So you're right, Will. You're talking about a player 28 in his prime and healthy. If anybody's worthy of a shot to get an invite and see what he can do, why not? All of us know Phil Snow likes to use a lot of 3 safety personnel packages.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell not? I mean, because think about it. When we got to face that unicorn in Atlanta called Kyle Pitts or whatever, we're gonna have to match Chin up on him in the box as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Depend on where they line him up. So who's gonna be back there playing coverage? You know what I'm saying? So I just I like the idea of him getting a chance. Now, I mean, obviously he got to earn his reps. Obviously, y'all know since we drafted him, Kenny Robinson been my guy that I hope to eventually, be the long term answer at that position. But hey, you got to earn it, and then when you earn it, you got to prove it. So, but yeah. So Yeldon, get the hell on, and let's bring Clinton Dix to Camp Wofford, get some of this heat and humidity in him.
Mm.
I'll just throw my comments. I got to talk about haha, but I didn't get to talk about Yeldon. And I was reading the comments. Elvin made a good point. It would be nice to have a running back that can punish the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But to be brutally honest with you, we've had that with Mike Davis, a guy that was leading the league in broken tackles for a while. But it seems like whenever number 22 is healthy and back, we don't use other guys. So if we did spend that money and get Yeldon, are we really going to use him? Because I think when McCaffrey came back, what did Mike Davis get? 1 carry, even though he was very productive every game before that. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be nice to have a change of pace back. It would be nice to take the load off of CMC, but it don't seem like the coaching staff enjoys doing that too much. I think they're trying to run CMC into the ground personally. So that's my only thing about Yeldon. I know he's in that same age range at 27. That's why earlier when I said about Talib speaking on that age range, I think it's a little bit different for D backs versus running backs. Yeldon might be considered a little bit long in the tooth now because he's been in the league 5 years, taking a lot of punishment and giving a lot of punishment. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does have left in the tank. But I just don't want us to sign a guy that we won't use. But to Elvin's point, that's an outstanding point. It would be very nice to have a guy that can be successful in short yardage, guaranteed. But hey, we'll see how it goes.
Indeed, and we had Armor too, and we could have gave the ball to short yardage, but we couldn't get a push by the O line. So I mean, yeah, we got to create holes too, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying, just saying, just saying.
And to address the point, because it's specifically toward me, Elvin, as far as like about this, what punishes a defense, a physical offensive line? That I mean, all this talk to of need a punishing running back. That running back can't do shit or let the offensive line ain't doing their part.
Mm.
We had a fucking fullback that couldn't get 1 yard because of our offensive line. 4th and 1 against the Raiders.
1 yard.
We talking about a fullback dive. We're not talking about handing the ball back 5-6 yards deep to the running back. Fullback I formation. Need
But
1 yard and couldn't get it. So you want to know what punishes a defense is a punishing offensive line. You can get your average running back behind a physical offensive line and get the job done. We see it around the league all the time.
But Kevin, we got Tommy Tremble. What are you talking about?
All pro H back.
Man.
He gonna be opening up holes, baby.
And he got them hands.
And he taking snaps at left tackle, bro. That was a pick of the draft. What y'all talking about?
What? Who was it that said? Was that Quick? Was that? No, it wasn't Quick. It was
What, Vashti?
Yeah, Ashton. Talk about if you play left tackle, you better be able to throw the ball too. Well, we got a left tackle that can apparently catch the ball. Who knows? I mean, throw on the number 72 and let him come out there and check in with the ref. Little goal line play action. Who knows? These motherfuckers. Anyway, stay tuned, man. Hey, if Trimble works out, great, but I don't know. But I love Ha-Ha, man. You can imagine him and Chin, bruh, on the field, and Ha-Ha's back in his old form. Whoo, Lord Jesus. Whoo, y'all don't want them problems. Bruh.
I agree we upgraded the offensive line in certain spots. I think Deontay Brown definitely probably helps us in the run game significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Versatility, everybody keeps talking about Brady Christensen, but I like David Moore. He can play center and guard.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of a healthy Dennis Daly. We didn't get him too healthy all year last year. He had some injury issues. So, yeah, I think we did get better. We just didn't get better what we needed to get better at.
Yeah, man.
That's all it is. Because, going into the draft, we needed help everywhere except basically right tackle. And if you're sold on Paradis, if you're not, you're not. He was pretty average, but we got better. It was just at the most important part of the O-line, I think we might have regressed, to be honest with you.
The left tackle is lacking. And we had, God, all those prospects in the draft we could have gotten, man. It's just...
and there's some vets out there from what I've been hearing, depending on how camp go, might end up signing a vet. But, I've been suffering for too long, man. Since Jordan Gross has been gone, I just been watching suffering. Like,
yes.
Michael Orr was pretty solid, but he only gave us a year and some change. Like, it's
1
just,
year.
I think I just want consistency at that position. I don't need an all-pro. I just need somebody that's solid,
Right.
above average, that's going to hold that spot down. I don't like the idea of a rotation at left tackle. I don't like the idea of trying people out middle of the season. I want somebody that I can close my eyes and trust that they're going to do their thing at the left tackle position.
Word.
Child, mid-season, we're going to call Okun with a "Hey, big head" text. That's what we're going to end up to. He's sitting back on all them Bitcoins, just living his best life.
Kev, especially if you're on the cusp. Like, I told we lost 8 games by a touchdown or less. I expect Rule to cut that in half. So we floating around that 9-10 win type of season. You might be trying to make a push for the playoffs. You gotta have a sure thing at left tackle, especially in the division we play in. You gotta have it.
Yeah, man. We got this, especially with Tampa Bay. Well, no, Atlanta too, man. They can put up points fast. That nullifies our run game right there. So we got to be able to put up points too. That means we need to be able to at least perform a five step drop. I'm not confident in that left tackle position. Can we run the football?
You got a quarterback that see ghosts. You got to protect that man, bro.
Exactly. New team, new coordinator, man, and he going to have the old dancing feet.
And Tim, you got big play receivers. You got a vertical threat in Robbie Anderson. You got DJ that's great at getting vertical.
Mm-hmm.
these guys need time to get down the field. So it was times last year where offensive line looked great, and people was like, "Oh, look, we didn't give up any sacks." Me being the person I am, I'm looking at it like we're not giving up sacks because Teddy throwing the ball as soon as he get the snap, the ball is out.
Yeah.
That's cool if it works for a little while, but once defenses start to creep up, you got to be able to go up top. A lot of times he couldn't go up top because he had to shake and bake. He had to make a move. Like it's just we need time for these plays to develop because the type of weapons that we have, they need that time to get vertical. So it is what it is. I'm gonna be optimistic like everybody else in the comments.
Yeah.
Offensive line got better.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes us a playoff team because as of right now, the way I feel about Matt Rule, he's got to give me 9 wins or better. So that's hot seat time for me. So the offensive line better be better.
I need to see him.
I just want to know if Ghostbusters is the official sponsor of Sam Darnold. That's what I want to know.
Oh man. Who you gonna call? Oh man.
Jada, you look like you about to say something, man.
Go ahead,
That's
Jay.
cold-blooded.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
You ain't right. You ain't right.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. Hey, Sam might come out there and just ball his ass off, though, bro. Who knows? Who knows? It's my understanding he has, good energy. He's upbeat at the facility and all this other stuff. Hey, who knows? He'll throw a couple of tip balls for a touchdown, all that good stuff,
I mean, I heard his rest of his sectional couch finally got there, so who knows, man? He might be able to put it together. How you bring one part of your section and not the other is beyond me. But
And Kev, another thing, man. I know I'm getting long-winded tonight, but I got to get this out too. When Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry was competing for the best RB in the league, the difference that I noticed was that Christian McCaffrey was making stuff happen from the backfield and getting up the field.
Right.
Derrick Henry, even though he's a bruiser, he wasn't having to hit people till he was 5 yards down the field. He wasn't getting touched. I want McCaffrey to have the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
That's all I'm saying.
Could you imagine McCaffrey at the line? Oh, I'm sorry. Could you imagine McCaffrey at the linebacker level before he gets touched?
Bro,
routinely.
We
like how it's about to be for Dalvin Cook up in Minnesota because he got Darisaw, he got Wyatt Davis, he got Garrett Bradbury from 2 drafts ago. That offensive line is looking sick. I just want the same thing for my guys, man. That's all I'm saying.
We seen McCaffrey get untouched till he got the linebacker level. I remember that Bengals game. Was that his rookie year? I think when he stiff armed dude right there in the gap. He didn't get touched till he got the linebacker level, and he just destroyed that dude. Jacksonville, he didn't get touched at the linebacker level. He just skating on people, bro.
That's the difference, Tim. When he gets that opportunity, that means touchdowns.
It's touchdown. It's a home run hitter for real. Real talk. I mean, bro, Elvin, the old line is better, but it's a low bar to come on, bro. I mean,
I can't say better till we see some pads. I can't go off paper, too. Man. Yeah,
that
I mean,
too.
better what on paper? Where's the proof that they're better?
I mean, I'm optimistic. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The guard position, bro. If we're not getting some good push at the guard position this year, I don't know what to tell you. But that left tackle, bro. I mean that's our passing game is so reliant upon that position, and they just like, get that guy from BYU. It's cool. All right, yeah. I'm whatever. Scott might be that guy. He might just come into camp and like, F y'all. I'm left tackle for real. So I mean, it's all good. But hey, if McCaffrey is getting 3, 4, 5 a pop each and every time between the guard and the center, that's gonna set up that play action, and then we'll rip some people apart. But as far as dropping back and being comfortable and getting rid of the football, I'm still a little iffy on that, bro. I am. I gotta see something. That's just me. But yeah, throwing to the tight ends will help. Go ahead, Will. You gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead.
Maurice was talking about the tight end position, and we picked up some we picked up some height. We picked up some athletes at the tight end position. So man, hopefully get in the red zone and make some things happen so we can run the football.
I mean, I think that's somewhere we definitely got better at. Just from free agency, I like Dan Arnold a lot. I know Kev. I know Will watched a lot of him. They said he reminds him. He got a little bit of Greg Olsen in him.
Mm.
Not the same size, but the ability to get vertical. Also a threat in the red zone. I think he definitely got better at tight end. But do Joe Brady use the tight end?
Mm.
That's my question. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I don't think we'll know the answer to that until we got a tight end that can actually threaten the defense. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Ian Thomas. I mean, he's a good. I mean, he's solid, but I just don't think he's hit his potential yet. Some guys just develop slower than others. I mean, we're in year 3 now with him, so it's basically do or die for him.
4.
In his defense, he's had how many different quarterbacks since he's been in the league, and he's never really been been
Wow.
featured as part of the offense.
He's
So
had a
I mean,
different
I'm not
quarterback
gonna write
almost
him
every
off
year.
completely because I mean we
Mm-hmm.
all knew when we drafted him that he wasn't going to be an immediate impact guy. He was expected to be a project. So you
Right.
expect guys like him, especially pick. I mean, he's a day 3 pick. So
Mm.
this is the type of guys you do give a little bit more time to develop. So I mean, it's a
Mm.
show improve year for him. He's got competition in the room now, so making the roster
Mm.
isn't even a guarantee. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as Dan Arnold, I think he's proven himself. I mean, he had 400 yards and 6 touchdowns in a offense that primarily plays 10 personnel in Arizona with Cliff Kingsbury with their
Mm.
air raid system. So I mean, I look at it like Greg Olsen coming from Chicago with Mike Martz. They didn't use the tight end a lot. Finally got his opportunity here. And look at the kind of career he had with us. So, I mean, I'm optimistic about this pickup. Hopefully, we can use him and he can be a good contributor.
Word.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Jason Marsh. That's comment of the night, bro. He said Sammy to take his shot. He didn't have mono. That's comment of the night, right?
Yeah, man.
Grown man catching mono. That's crazy.
Yeah, Mono, he good. Shoot. His white blood cell count is high. He's cool. It's all good. Oh man. So I believe we covered everything, man. I mean, we talked enough about the old line, and so man, we're good. We're good on that. Remind everybody when is camp?
Well, usually the training camp schedule usually comes out like maybe a day or two after mini camp is over. So uh, don't be surprised if it's not dropped like Friday or Saturday.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
expecting. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm thinking it's usually like the next day, but I could be off by a day. But it's usually come out. Uh, that's what I'm personally waiting on, so I can determine how I'm gonna use my PTO on my job because this is definitely one of them training camps that they haven't gave the word of how the fans are gonna, if the fans gonna be allowed back at Wofford in what capacity. But
Mm.
I'm definitely looking forward because we got to cover this. We got to cover this camp good,
Yeah.
And oh yeah, we also forgot to mention real quick, the since our last recording, we got the 2 joint practices with the Colts. You know,
Mm.
that's something. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now we're at Indianapolis, so the team they won't be down at Walford practicing against them, so that'll be in Indianapolis. But
Mm.
yeah, Larry, I already know which one you're looking for. Derek Brown versus Quentin Nelson.
Oh boy.
And
Honestly, that's a very slept on offensive line. It's more than just Quentin Nelson. They got
Yeah.
talent from left tackle to right tackle. I think that's just a great challenge for the entire D line and the front
Yeah.
seven in general, to be
Great
honest with you. But
challenge.
yeah, the highlight is definitely DB and Mr. Nelson. Nelson is a bad man.
Yeah.
and
You
don't they
can
get and then they get that center from Alabama, Kelly. Isn't he from
absolutely.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I like him too. So, our interior definitely gonna get tested. So something to look forward to.
Absolutely. And they got a pretty good linebacker over there too. So we want to see
Yeah.
about this offensive line we keep talking about. They got a pretty good linebacker core too. I'm just saying.
About to find out. About to find out.
And Maurice asked about the long snapper position. I just want to get my 2 cents. I'm still going with JJ. I think that he's going to win that job, and it's going to look like you just wasted another six round draft pick. That's just more magnifying glasses on that front office. But I don't believe in getting rid of a like. If it's the machine, I work in aviation. You do routine maintenance. If it's not broken, you don't mess with it. You just make sure it's maintained, and that's it. This guy's been a well-oiled machine for over 10 years. When the last time he messed up a snap, Cav? 2012 or something like that. Leave that man alone, bro.
2010 at the
2010.
Giants, week 1. That was his last bad snap. And
Hey,
we
Damn.
picked him up the off season in the 2009 season. So one bad snap in what finna be 12 years?
Mm.
positions like that, Kev, he tell you when he's done. Like you don't tell him when he's done.
Word.
Right.
He tell you when he's done playing. That's how that's got to go, bro. This paid. That's his job. And don't mess with him. I understand you trying to bring competition everywhere. That was stupid, man. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. He's shown me nothing to say. Like, you know what? We need to evaluate long snapper. The dude is an A plus. He's
Yeah.
elite. If
Yeah.
you Google the top long snappers, he's top three every year. So what are we doing?
Yeah, because I know fans don't pay attention, to what we do, but there's been some games, and particularly he the reason why we beat the Chargers, last
Mm-hmm.
year when he pinned that punt down at the 1 yard line, and they just happened to run out of time because, that was around the time where the Justin Herbert was starting to figure out how to throw that thing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about more athletic and things of that nature. I haven't seen anything you know, to make me think that he is in decline. So, but like I say, you fed us with this, you need competition everywhere. I get it, but you spent a draft pick on bringing competition at long snapper, but not left tackle. Fuck me. That's all I got to say.
All right, Panther fans. We'd like to thank you for dropping by for another live recording of the Four Man Rush podcast. We record live on Facebook and Twitter each and every time from here on out. When the season pops off, folks, it's really gonna be fun because we're gonna have that post game show back on it, man. That give you the real time, the realness on the game and all that good stuff, man. And we'll be recording live on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Now we've been doing this on Thursdays lately, and that's because of other business arrangements that I have, and so when the season starts, it's not gonna be that way. So yeah, man. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget Manscaped. It's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your balls. They'll take care of you. Real talk, fellas. You know what's up. You know exactly what
I'll
the fuck
let
I
y'all
mean.
know when they come out with a beard oil too, because we don't fix this left tackle position. I might start getting some grays. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, man. Real talk, bro. Real talk. Um, so hey, be on the lookout. Our social media platforms, obviously Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. If you haven't been reading our articles on our website, the4manrush.com, you should go check them out, man. We got some great stuff. Appreciate that, Elvin. And we really appreciate you guys for dropping in. It's all about the fans because we all have a common goal, and that's supporting our Carolina Panthers. So
And hey, shout out to the Philadelphia Falcons too. If y'all ain't been watching some basketball, they've been blowing leads,
blowing them,
blowing them. 26 last night. It was up 26 in the fourth.
man,
Yo,
boy. Hey, free throws wins championships too. I'm just saying. Free throws and defense.
Hey,
real quick, I just want to say one thing. it's generally looking like four-man rush. We will be covering some road games this year. The way the games fell, and I'm looking at my calendar. I definitely think this will be the first time I might be able to go to all 3 road games this year. So at Atlanta, October 31st, and then in January at New Orleans, January the 2nd, at Tampa, January the 9th. So looking at that, and as far as outside of the division, I got my eyes set on going to Dallas week 4. And I got to come down there and hang out with Will in Miami, that November 20th game at Miami. So Foreman West Rio, it's plans being made to give you guys as much exclusive access and coverage as we can. So I'm definitely gonna, do my part to make sure we well represented wherever our team goes.
All right, so
I'm gonna probably catch a couple of games too. Where we play the Giants at this year?
In New York.
Yeah, I'm going to that.
October 24th. We play them before we play in Atlanta on Halloween.
Yeah, I'm going to that. Where we play the Vikings at?
At home.
Yeah, I'm going to that too. So I got 2 games in me, and I'm definitely going to the Atlanta game in Atlanta. I do that every year.
Cool. Well, fans, we hope to see y'all there, man. Shoot, don't be a stranger.
Hey, y'all keep pounding and stay dangerous.
Word up. So on behalf of the four-man rush and Carolina Panther fans everywhere, appreciate you guys. And as always, keep pounding. Damn it. Get the left tackle right. I'm tired of playing these damn games. Y'all hold it down, man. Appreciate y'all.
I'm just taking time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners, or we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers and do we call me and you lovers.
The Four-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The Four-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the Four-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.